to Cindy's Library. I am Cindy, and today I am going to talk about what I am going to be reading in August. And the answer to that is not a whole lot that is new. At least that is the plan. The plan is to mostly work on old items and finish some up. I've got a nice stack over there on my bookshelf that you can't see, but that is what I want to work a lot on. Now there are a few exceptions. The final Tomes book that started with Tomes Apprentice and First of Tomes. Well, Master of Tomes should be coming out in August, and I'm very excited to see where it ends. And so, yes, I am planning on reading it. It is by Honor Raconteur. I think she was inspired by an anime for this one a bit. There's lots of Asian influences in it. Our main character, well, this is a world where lots of disasters happen. The good news, they happen regularly. And so you have the tomes. Well, someone actually wrote them down. So there are the physical tomes, and that is great. You also have the Master of Tomes and their apprentice. And what makes them so special is basically being able to memorize all those different tomes or volumes. And our main character, I forget who she is. Anyway, she's an apprentice, Tomes, and she's roughly read, I want to say, half of the tomes, which is a problem because I think it was a volcano, probably combined with a tsunami hitting the city where the tomes were housed. And so they did get all the tomes onto different ships, and she went on one ship and her master went on another, hedging their bets, and it seems like it's a good thing they did because our heroine, she ends up shipwrecked, and everything that was with her, everyone else was lost, everything with her besides herself was lost. So yeah, just her. No sign of her master or his ship when she finally is found again by civilization, specifically by a passing dragon. And yes, there are dragons in this world. But yeah, no master, and there was at least one ship with some of the tomes that I think did get through, which is good, and some of the tomes there are ones that our heroine has not read yet, so that is good. The bad news is some of the tomes are ones that she has read, and there are tomes from other ships that she has not yet read, and there are disasters starting to happen right on schedule, and a couple of them she either has the knowledge already, having read the tome, or the tome with the necessary information is available, but several of them, including some very bad ones, are coming up, and she has no idea what to do about them. That is a very good question, and we spend most of the book with her dealing with these disasters and trying to figure out what to do about that problem. And I can't tell you much more than that, except that volume 3 seems to be the last volume in this particular series, if I believe that is correct. I'll try and remember to make a note of for any reason that is not correct, but yep, that is coming out, so hooray. And I had a bit of a haul. What can I say? I couldn't resist. A making of C.S. Lewis, From Atheist to Apologist, 1918 to 1945, by Harry Lee Poe. So this is the second in a 3-volume series on C.S. Lewis, a very interesting figure to me. I've read a fair amount about him and really enjoyed the first one. That was the Becoming C.S. Lewis, that is right. From basically his childhood to roughly the end of World War I. And the thesis of that book was basically that everything C.S. Lewis's major likes, dislikes, a lot of his foundational things were formed during his childhood and teenage years. But he was not C.S. Lewis, well, the C.S. Lewis that we know and love yet. Still had a ways to go. This book, no doubt, covers a lot of that. It's basically the end of World War I through the end of World War II. Some exciting times in Lewis's life. This was the time when he was at Oxford, getting multiple degrees and then trying to find a job and finally landing a job. This was the period when his famous house, the Kilns, was set up that he shared with Mrs. Moore and her daughter Maureen and his brother Warnie. And this was when he became friends with Tolkien, and this is also when he, well, like it says, from being an atheist, he became an apologist. The Inklings were formed. He also came under the influence of Charles Williams. And World War II, one of the most important things then, of course, was his broadcast talks. So yes, I'm very interested to continue this series and see what else we have here. And much as I have loved Jane Austen July, I need something very different for this next month. And in a similar vein, I was tempted by this, Dorothy and Jack, The Transforming Friendship of Dorothy L. Sayers and C.S. Lewis by Gina D'Alfonso. So that should be interesting. They knew each other, had some influence on each other, and it'll be exciting to read a bit more about that. And I may or may not be silly and start the, what is it called, the Bartleshur Chronicles by Anthony Trollov. First one I know is The Warden. I may or may not start that this month. We will have to see. Well, we will have to see. October is coming up, and well, I don't have any firm plans yet, mostly because I don't know what all the challenges are yet. I'm very excited for that. So we shall see. Yep, we shall see what I can get through in August. But those are my plans. Those are some of the things I am looking forward to. Love to hear any comments, suggestions. What are your reading plans for July? I'd love to hear about it. So until next time, I hope we all stay safe and healthy. And as always, happy reading.